Let me ask you something. Where is your savings right now? If you're like most people, the answer is a savings account at a big bank. Maybe the same bank where you have your checking account. The one you have had since you were a teenager. The one with the familiar logo and the app you check every morning. And that savings account is probably earning you somewhere between 0.01% and 0.5% interest per year. You might not have even noticed, because the number is so small that the interest barely registers on your statement. A few cents here, maybe $1 or $2 there. Nothing that ever felt worth paying attention to. But here is the thing you need to understand right now, and I mean right now, today, before this video is over. While your money sits in that low-interest savings account earning almost nothing, inflation is quietly and relentlessly eating it alive. Every single year, without exception. And while inflation erodes your purchasing power from one side, the bank is taking your deposit, lending it out at significantly higher rates, and keeping the spread between what they pay you and what they charge borrowers as pure profit. You are not using the bank. The bank is using you. Today, Cindy is going to show you exactly what is happening to your savings, why the traditional savings account is one of the most financially damaging places to keep your money long-term, and where your money should actually be, depending on what it is for and when you need it. Let us get into it. Before we talk about where your money should be, we need to understand what your bank is actually doing with your savings right now. Because most people have a vague sense that banks use deposits to make loans. But the specifics of how profitable this arrangement is for the bank, and how little of that profit flows back to you, is something most people have never seen clearly. Here is how it works. When you deposit money into a savings account, you are essentially lending that money to the bank. The bank takes your deposit and uses it, along with the deposits of thousands of other customers, to fund loans, mortgages, car loans, personal loans, business loans, credit cards. Those loans carry interest rates ranging from roughly 7% on a mortgage to 20% or more on a credit card. The bank collects that interest from borrowers. Meanwhile, what does the bank pay you for the privilege of using your money? At most major traditional banks, the big household name institutions, the savings account interest rate is somewhere between 0.01% and 0.50% per year. Some pay even less. Let's do the math on $10,000 in a traditional savings account at 0.01% interest. After 1 year, you earn $1. $1 on $10,000, sitting in the bank for an entire year. The bank lent your $10,000 as part of a credit card balance charging 20% interest. They collected $2,000 in interest from the borrower. They paid you $1. They kept $1,999. This is not illegal. It is not even surprising once you understand it. It is simply how banking works. Banks are businesses. They exist to make money, and they make it by borrowing cheap from depositors and lending expensive to borrowers. But here is what is important. You do not have to accept the worst possible rate as a depositor. You have choices, and most people have never been told what those choices are. Now let us add the second layer of damage: inflation. Inflation is the gradual increase in the price of goods and services over time. When inflation is running at 3% per year, which is close to the long-term historical average in the United States, every dollar you own loses approximately 3% of its purchasing power every single year. That means $10,000 in a savings account earning 0.01% interest after 1 year has the nominal value of $10,001. But its real purchasing power, adjusted for 3% inflation, is equivalent to approximately $9,701 in today's dollars. You did not gain $1. You lost $299 in real purchasing power, while thinking your money was safe because the number on your statement went up by $1. This is the savings account scam in its purest form. The number in your account goes up slightly, giving you the feeling that your money is growing, while the actual value of that money, measured in what it can buy, goes down significantly every year. Over 10 years at 3% inflation, $10,000 in a savings account earning 0.01% becomes worth approximately $7,374 in real purchasing power. You kept your money completely safe in the bank, and lost over a quarter of its real value. Over 20 years, that same $10,000 has the purchasing power of approximately $5,438. You lose almost half the real value of your savings without ever touching it, simply by keeping it in a traditional savings account while inflation does its quiet work. This is why keeping long-term savings in a low-interest account is not playing it safe. It is a guaranteed slow-motion loss. The only question is whether you understand it is happening. Okay, so if the traditional savings account is the problem, what is the first solution? The high-yield savings account. And if you don't already have one, opening one today should be at the top of your financial to-do list. A high-yield savings account works exactly like a regular savings account. Your money is liquid, meaning you can access it at any time. It is FDIC insured up to $250,000, meaning it is government protected. And there is no risk of losing principal. The only difference is the interest rate. While traditional big bank savings accounts pay 0.01% to 0.50%. High-yield savings accounts, typically offered by online banks and credit unions, currently pay rates that are significantly higher. Rates fluctuate with the federal funds rate set by the Federal Reserve, so the specific number changes over time. But the spread between traditional savings accounts and high-yield savings accounts is consistently large. Let us look at the math on $10,000 at a meaningfully higher rate. Let us say 4% for illustration purposes, which has been in the range of competitive high-yield rates in recent years. At 4% per year, $10,000 earns $400 in 1 year. Compared to $1 at 0.01%, that is 400 times more interest on the exact same money with the exact same level of safety and liquidity. Over 5 years, with monthly compounding at 4%, $10,000 grows to approximately $12,200. Over 10 years, approximately $14,900. The money is still completely safe, still FDIC insured, still accessible at any time. But instead of losing ground to inflation, it is at least keeping pace, or coming much closer to doing so. High-yield savings accounts are not the ultimate destination for your money. But for money you need to keep liquid and safe, your emergency fund, money you are saving for a specific near-term goal like a down payment or a car, a high-yield savings account is dramatically better than a traditional savings account. There is genuinely no good reason to keep accessible savings in a low-yield account when high-yield options are available. Some well-known providers of high-yield savings accounts include online banks like Ally, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Discover Bank, and SoFi, as well as many credit unions. Always verify current rates and FDIC or NCUA insurance before opening any account. Now let us talk about the most important distinction in personal finance: the difference between money you need soon and money you do not need for a long time. Money you need within the next 1 to 3 years, your emergency fund, a down payment you are saving for, money for a planned expense, should be in a high-yield savings account or a similar low-risk, liquid vehicle. Safety and accessibility matter more than return for this money. But money you do not need for 5, 10, 20, or 30 years, your retirement savings, your long-term wealth building, should not be in a savings account at all. Not even a high-yield one. Because here is the truth about long-term money. When you have a long-time horizon, market volatility is not your enemy. It is your opportunity. And the single most powerful thing you can do with long-term money is invest it in the market, specifically in low-cost, diversified index funds. Let me show you what the difference looks like over time. $10,000 in a traditional savings account at 0.01% over 30 years, approximately $10,030. $10,000 in a high-yield savings account at 4% over 30 years, approximately $32,400. $10,000 invested in a broad market index fund averaging 7% per year over 30 years, approximately $76,100. Same $10,000. Same 30 years. 3 dramatically different outcomes. The stock market is not a savings account. It goes up and down. It has bad years. It has crashes. But over long periods of time, 10, 20, 30 years, the broad stock market has historically delivered average annual returns significantly higher than any savings account. Consistently enough that for long-term money, it is almost always the right vehicle. The S&P 500, an index of the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States, has historically delivered an average annual return of approximately 10% before inflation and approximately 7% after inflation over long periods of time. Not every year. Some years it loses significantly, but over decades, the direction has been consistently upward. A low-cost S&P 500 index fund, available through almost every major brokerage and most 401k plans, gives you broad exposure to the entire U.S. economy in a single, simple, low-fee investment. You do not need to pick stocks. You do not need to time the market. You buy the index, you hold it, and you let decades of compounding do the work. Now let us talk about the specific accounts where your long-term investment money should live. Because where you hold your investments matters almost as much as what you invest in. If you qualify based on income, the Roth IRA is the single most powerful wealth-building account available to most people. You contribute after-tax dollars, meaning you pay tax on the money before it goes in. And then every dollar grows completely tax-free for the rest of your life. Qualified withdrawals in retirement, including all the growth, are completely tax-free. Think about what that means over 30 years. If you invest $7,000 per year in a Roth IRA starting at 35 and it grows at 7% annually, by age 65, you have approximately $700,000. And every single dollar of that, the contributions and all the growth, comes out tax-free in retirement. The government gives you no other deal this good. Use it. If your employer offers a 401k with a matching contribution, contributing at least enough to capture the full match is the highest guaranteed return available anywhere. A 100% employer match on your contribution is a 100% instant return. No investment in the world reliably beats that. Beyond the match, the 401k, whether traditional or Roth, provides tax-advantaged growth that dramatically improves your long-term outcome compared to investing in a regular taxable account. If you have access to a health savings account through a high-deductible health plan, it offers the unique triple tax advantage we have discussed in previous videos: pre-tax contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses. Invested in index funds and left to grow, an HSA is one of the most powerful retirement vehicles available. Once you have maxed your tax-advantaged accounts, a regular taxable brokerage account, funded with index funds and held long-term, is still dramatically better than a savings account for long-term money. You will owe capital gains tax when you sell, but the long-term capital gains rate is significantly lower than ordinary income tax rates for most people. Let me give you a simple framework for thinking about where every dollar of your savings should live. I call it the money tier system. Tier 1, immediate access money. This is your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses. It needs to be completely liquid and completely safe. Vehicle, high-yield savings account. Do not invest this money. Do not put it in the market. Its job is to be there instantly when life happens. But it should be earning a competitive rate, not sitting in a 0.01% account. Tier 2, short-term goal money. Money you are saving for something specific in the next 1 to 3 years. A down payment, a car, a planned expense. Vehicle, high-yield savings account, or a short-term CD for money you absolutely will not need before the maturity date. Still safe, still liquid enough, but working harder than a traditional savings account. Tier 3, medium-term money. Money you do not need for 3 to 7 years, but will need before retirement. Vehicle, a conservative mix of index funds, perhaps a blend of stock and bond index funds in a taxable brokerage account. Accept some market risk in exchange for meaningfully higher expected returns than a savings account. Tier 4, long-term retirement money. Money you will not touch for 10 years or more. Vehicle, Roth IRA, 401k, HSA, invested in low-cost stock index funds. Maximum growth, maximum tax advantage, long time horizon to ride out market volatility. The mistake most people make is keeping Tier 3 and Tier 4 money in Tier 1 vehicles, savings accounts, because it feels safe. It is not safe. It is a guaranteed slow loss to inflation. The only way to win with long-term money is to put it where long-term money belongs. Here is the truth about your savings account that the bank is counting on you never figuring out. They take your money. They lend it at high rates. They pay you almost nothing. and inflation quietly destroys the real value of what little they leave you with. The entire arrangement is profitable for them and damaging for you, and it works because most people never question it. But now you have questioned it. Now you see it. Here is your action plan. Today, not this weekend, today, look up the interest rate on your savings account. If it is below 1%, open a high-yield savings account and move your emergency fund there. Then look at your long-term savings, money you will not need for 5 or more years, and ask yourself honestly whether it belongs in a market index fund instead of a savings account. The right money in the right place. That is the entire framework. It is not complicated, but it is the difference between money that slowly loses its value and money that quietly builds your future. If this video gave you clarity on something you have been doing wrong, hit that like button and share it with someone whose money is sitting in a 0.01% savings account right now. They need to see this. Subscribe to Cindy Explains because every week we show you the financial moves that actually change outcomes. Drop in the comments, where is your savings right now? And what are you going to change after watching this video? I want to hear your plan. Take care of your money. Nobody else will do it for you. See you in the next one.